Alright, so sure enough, my camera quit recording on me. I don't know what all got lost there, but here we go, continuing. 114,000. Can you turn around, please?
You know, I played almost the entire library for it. There's also a Spider-Man game that I don't own, but that's 5 games. They made 5 games total for this piece of garbage. That's less games than the Virtual Boy. Well, at least it's not as bad as the R-Zone. Hyper scam. Hyper fucking shit.
Oh. Dude.
Universal Theme Park Adventure on GameCube. A game based on a theme park that was based on movies by Universal Studios, the giant movie-making machine that made some of the greatest films of all time, from the classic monster movies of the 30s and 40s to the Spielberg masterpieces like Jaws, E.T., and Jurassic Park. Over the years, Universal has celebrated its movie legacy by slowly converting its Hollywood studio location into a big amusement park for the public and destroying film history. You know the Opera House set from the classic Phantom of the Opera that stood on stage 28 for 90 years? Destroyed. The oldest surviving movie set in history, gone overnight to make way for a Harry Potter ride. But, hey, Universal Theme Park was still a lot of fun. You go in the Back to the Future DeLorean, and then there's volcanoes and shit, and then you're riding the bike with E.T., and then the truck comes and almost hits you, and then you're on the waterfall, and then the T-Rex comes out, and then fucking Jaws is jumping out of the water, and King Kong shaking the tram, and then there's the earthquakes, and then there's other movies that you don't even know what the fuck they are, nobody cares. It was awesome. By the 90s, this whole theme park idea was so huge, they opened up a new one in Florida. This is when Nintendo helped advertise it in the movie The Wizard, and then in 2001, Nintendo started promoting it again with this game, which I think sounds awesome. What a great idea to take all these movies and put them into one using the theme park as a way to tie them all together, and on a new advanced console. How could you go wrong?
Oh, great.
The fuck is this shit? You're a kid running around the park. While the graphics are fine and definitely seem to represent the basic idea of what a Universal theme park looks like, the camera angles are a problem. First of all, it never moves. You know how in most other three-dimensional games like Super Mario 64, which came out years before, the camera follows
Lord
the actor's
Contaminus.
Here, the camera is in a fixed position and only switches to another angle when you reach a certain point on the screen. So you might have to run far into the distant background or all the way up into the foreground without even knowing what's ahead of you. So finding your way around is a total nightmare. Sometimes when you come to a new screen, you start out in the background. You're just a tiny dot somewhere
Shit.
on the screen, obscured by a crowd of people. Where am I? Oh, there I am. It's like a game of Where's Waldo. Now let's get on some rides.
Oh, shit.
What's this? There's a line? Yes, at theme parks you have to wait in lines, but why'd they include that in the game? Could they have left that out? But this is even worse than real life because Woody Woodpecker won't even let you get in the line, even though there's less than 10 people. Could you imagine going to Universal and the lines are that short? That would be your lucky day. That would be like a 2-minute wait. But no, Woody's got to send you away. Like, go away, asshole. Fuck you, you Woody Bunny fucking Pecker piece of shit. You know what you have to do to get in the line? You would never believe this. You have to pick up trash and put them in trash cans. Has anyone ever had to pick up trash at Universal to get on the rides? What kind of idiotic idea is this? First of all, finding the trash is a hassle because of the fixed camera positions, The trash might be as small as a tiny speck on the ground. Then finding the trash cans you'd think would be easy, but they're really
Oh,
not.
crap.
If a real Universal theme park had as few trash cans as in this game, then they actually would have this much garbage lying around. The worst thing of all, whenever you pick up a piece
I'm at
of trash, you only get
117,000.
points. But to get on a single ride, you might need more than 2,000 points. So you're going to have to pick up a lot of trash. I want to see Jaws, Jurassic Park. You have access to all these major franchises, but instead they just send the gamer around collecting trash? What were they thinking? They should have called the game Universal Theme Park Janitor. Yeah, great idea. Right up there with Super Plumber Mario Toilet Cleaner. This kid isn't even an employee of the park. Why would he have to pick up all this trash? Poor kid. Imagine all the stuff he has to handle. Fries that have been stepped in, wrappers that are covered in ants, paper bags that are filled with vomited cotton candy. Ugh. Maybe he didn't buy a ticket or something. Maybe the park has a special deal with him, like, okay, kid, we'll let you on the rides for free, but you gotta help us clean up all this trash. You can also get points from shaking hands with costume characters like Creature from the Black Lagoon and E.T. Dude, I fucking shook hands with E.T. I mean, come on. So you get all this trash, throw them in the trash can, get enough points, and then guess what? You still can't get on the rides because you have to cash the points in at the store and buy a fucking hat. Remember that time you went to Universal? They wouldn't let you on the rides unless you wear a stupid fucking... And each ride has its own special hat. How do all those other people get in the line? I don't see them wearing hats. At last, let's talk about the rides. They're just little mini games that end quicker than an actual Universal ride. Back to the Future, you're just flying around in a DeLorean through prehistoric times trying to stop Biff, who's also in a DeLorean. Jaws, you're on a boat trying to throw things at the shark. Surprisingly, the camera actually moves, but you still have no control over it. It takes forever to aim, and the shark moves way faster than you, so chances of hitting it are slim.
Oh, come on.
Not as much luck trying to time jerking off onto a passing car. Believe it or not, this game actually makes the NES version of Jaws seem excellent.
Fuck.
This is just a simple rail shooter. Move the crosshairs and shoot the dinosaurs. This may have worked
119,000.
a few quarters in. Not something you'd sit and play at home. Like an arcade game, it's over just as fast, although much more expensive than 75 cents. E.T., yes, the dreaded E.T., made almost 20 years after the so-called worst game of all time.
75 cents for an arcade game?
Would you believe, I shit you not, this version is far worse. The control is so bad, all you do is fall.
I should check to see if that gives me any points. That's kind of a waste of my time.
These controls, it makes me look like an idiot, but I swear, I'm really trying.
Waste of battery power.
Imagine playing excitement.
My Game Boys have really worn out batteries.
Upside down, coated in rubber cement while seated on a wild bull. And just when you start to get the hang of it, the game ends. Waterworld. Gotta include Waterworld whenever you're talking about great Universal classics. This one isn't even a game at all. It's just a virtual recreation of the Waterworld stunt show attraction at Universal Hollywood, which is a great stunt show, far better than the actual movie. So, for those of you who didn't get to see it live, here you can witness the finale when they crash the plane into the water, splashing the front rows to an ecstatic, screaming crowd of nobody. Must be a slow day at Universal. Then there's Backdraft, which is surprisingly the longest of all the games and probably the best, or should I say the least worst. I feel bad for this young kid who has to put out fires without even wearing any protective gear. As always, you have no control over the camera and may not even see a fire until you run smack into it. The fatal flaw that destroys this almost playable game is the confusing controls. Every time you step into another room or the camera angle changes, the joystick becomes reversed. So you
crap. I knew better than to do that.
And if it seems like I breezed through these really quickly, that's because they're over real quickly. There's nothing more to say. That's all, folks. They're mini games, sub games, an afterthought to the main game, which is just going around collecting garbage. A metaphor of my life. You'd think think they would have made the rides the main part of the game, but instead they focused on the whole mission of trying to get on the rides. Which is very accurate to how the park is in real life. You ever been to Universal? All you do is stand in lines all day, and every once in a while you get on the ride. So this captures that experience perfectly. A virtual simulation of a day at Universal, with long hours of tedium with short bursts of excitement. Except if you're collecting trash the whole time. I should also mention that the main goal of the entire game is to collect stamps. Yeah, apparently there's a big stamp collecting contest going on at Universal. So every time you finish one of the rides, they give you a stamp.
Fuck.
So shooting at dinosaurs, flying around a DeLorean, throwing barrels at sharks, all that is just about winning a stamp collecting contest. If I went on a ride at
120,000.
Universal and they gave me a stamp, I'd be like, what the hell is this? I'll tell you, that's one time at Universal when you'd see me throw something in the trash can. Or better yet, I used a stamp on an envelope that I'd send a letter to the game developers asking them, how the fuck did you take so many popular franchises and fuck them up so bad? Even LJN, when they fucked up Jaws and Back to the Future, it was one at a time. Not all at once. And that was NES. This is GameCube. I thought by now games this horrible would be extinct.
What? I got no points for killing it? Oh, 100.
I guess we'll just leave it at, it was a poor excuse of a game, just a shitty exploitation to promote the park. It even fails at
Nope,
that.
no points for that.
It's the worst promotion of all time. Have you ever seen the Universal theme park TV commercials? They were never like, visit Universal Studios theme park, experience the thrill, ride the movies, pick up fucking trash. The only theme park on earth where you get to clean up after everybody else. Nothing gets you closer to the movies than wearing funny hats and collecting stamps. Book your trip now. But seriously, the park's dirty. We need someone to clean it. Well, only one more present left. You want to take a peek? Let's take a peek.
Oh, I'm so slow. I don't know how to dodge those things. Oh, come on. Probably could have got over that rock right there. Ah.
It can't be. LJN made a video game console. It's bad enough they already monopolized the genre of shitty, dysfunctional video games, but now they make a whole fucking console. The biggest turd LJN ever shot. Let's take a look.
Fuck.
Hours of creative fun. Oh, I'm sure. I really have to play this thing. I'd rather analyze the styrofoam that came with it. It's far more exciting. See that right there? Maybe somebody's cat stepped on it. See all the scuff marks? I wonder what that's all from. It's like an archaeological record. It's like styrofoam keeps a fingerprint of the past. It's interesting. Okay, let's cut the shit. Let's hook this thing up. Oh no, oh no, oh
Damn it.
no! Oh, I hate these. These things come from hell. These are the devil's pitchforks that you have to screw on the back of your TV.
I did better that time anyway.
It says it's for ages 5 and up. Adult guidance needed for hookup. I think we're going to need more like spiritual guidance. So we plug this fucker in, and here we go. Well, you have to admit, sure has a killer soundtrack. Yeah, next time you're having a conversation about best video game soundtracks, Mega Man, Castlevania, no, tell them about LJ and video art. I can see it right now, like, huh, how does that one go? I don't remember that. Oh, it goes like... The game has no sound. This is a unique specimen, not because it doesn't have sound, but because it outputs white noise. So technically it does have sound, but it's fucking static. This kind of shit is the reason the mute button wasn't invented. Yeah, so turn the sound off, put on some Witchfinder General, and While you're at it, put on a different fucking game. If you turn on the console without a game cartridge in it, you get a
Oh, did that?
screen that you can
Oh,
play.
I see.
The console comes packaged with
Just
one
stay
button.
here.
If you put that in, you get a bunch of pre-done drawings
Awesome.
you can mess with. The joystick moves the cursor about. To draw, or should I say to scribble around like a blind golden lion Cameron on speed, you hold down the button. This presses the pen down, so to say. The joystick is already overly sensitive.
I think I got this.
Cursor flies all over the place. Having to press down on the joystick at the same time as you're trying to move it only adds to the frustration. Why could there be a separate button, like Atari 2600? There are two other buttons on the controller, but they're for locking the verticals and horizontals so you can draw a straight line. Maybe we can get some lasers coming out of the parrot's eyes. Yeah, that's my best. The diagonals are the biggest problem. I just want to see if I can draw a circle. Ah! Oh, man. Fuck! That's it. With my best practice, that's the best circle I can possibly draw. I can draw rounder shapes on an Etch-a-Sketch. That's my best spiral. That's my best person. I'm not joking around. The controls are so bad. That's the best I can do. Look at the family on the box. What could they possibly be so overjoyed about? Look, look, Mom. Yeah, I drew a fucking line. Ugh. Can you even tell what I'm trying to do here? I'm trying to give the panda a bottle of beer. Can't even make a visual joke here. This game gives me nothing to work with. Let's try to color the nose. I can't even land the cursor inside the nose.
Still recording? Good.
When you're pressing down and rocking the joystick around like this, it squeaks. That's awful. This is worse than the static, and this you can't turn down. So, guess you gotta get some really strong earmuffs. And just to add insult to injury, on the box, the panda is colored in perfectly. How can you
I'm afraid I'm gonna run out of battery juice here. Oh, come on.
A paint bucket tool? That's the most basic thing. Why is there no paint bucket tool? Even Color a Dinosaur, which I thought was the worst coloring game ever made, even that had a paint bucket tool. This makes Color a Dinosaur look amazing. I've made better drawings as a kid in Microsoft Paint. Seriously, these are my actual drawings as a kid done in Microsoft Paint. Does LJN video art have any good aspects? Well, I guess you can change the color of the pen. You can change the color of the background. You can erase 1 pixel at a time. This is the worst thing ever. Etch-a-Sketch is better than this.
What is that?
Or forks to screw in your TV.
Whoa.
Give it the benefit of it being 1987 and one of the first of its kind. Later, there were games like Art Alive on the Sega.
Oh, sweet.
Pretty cool. And Graffy World's Creativity Studio, which came with a mouse.
Oh, that's the boy that I got the crystal to. No, I didn't even have to do it.
You can draw either freestyle or with a coloring book. There's plenty of different pens, brushes, colors, and patterns to work with. But it wasn't just about what you can do, but more about the overall presentation of it. For example, they give you so many creative ways to erase the drawing. It's unnecessary, but it's cool. Even the save feature, which takes an insane amount of time just to save one shitty drawing, is still cool because you get that catchy beat to make the time fly by.
Other Contaminus may be back. So I beat Contaminus, but not other Contaminus. I think I beat the game. That's cool. You were the one who saved the Earth. I think I was on my last life, too.